In general, the quadratic function can be written as y equals ax squared plus bx plus c that we've seen before. In general, the quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the same as the quadratic function, except that the y has been replaced with 0. In other words, the solution to a quadratic equation is the same as the x-intercept. So these 2 points right here on this particular parabola. Sometimes they are also called zeros or roots. So to solve a quadratic equation graphically, we need to find the values of the x-intercept, which is where the graph crosses the x-axis. There are 3 possible outcomes when you're solving a quadratic equation. You can have 2 solutions where your parabola has a vertex above the x-axis and opens down, or below the x-axis and opens up. And then your solutions would be here and here, or here and here. Your second option is only one solution, and that's where the vertex is right on the x-axis. So we've got here, opens down, or here, and opens up. And then our solutions would be one here and one here. The third option is that we've got 0 solutions. That would be where you have a vertex that is above the x-axis and your parabola opens up, or one that is below the x-axis and opens down. It never crosses the x-axis, so there are no solutions. So here are 3 examples that we're going to use to solve graphically. So what I would do is we need our related quadratic function. That is what we're going to graph. And in order to be able to graph it, we need to find the vertex and then the point pattern. So in order to do that, I'm going to complete the square. So x squared minus 6x, and then my b value is here. So I've got b divided by 2 and squared, which is going to give me plus 9, minus 9, and then plus 8. So I can rewrite this as x minus 3 all squared, which is these 3 terms as a perfect square, and then minus 1. So then my vertex is going to be 3 minus 1, and my point pattern, because my a value is 1, is just over 1, up 1, over 1, up 3, and over 1, up 5. So let's do the next one here. So again, what I'm going to notice here is that I actually have a perfect square trinomial. So if I write my related quadratic function here, and then I can actually go straight to the factored form, which is going to tell me that my vertex is minus 3 and then 0, because I don't have anything on the end right here. Again, because there's no a value, my point pattern is 1, 3, 5. And I'm going to do the same thing for my last one. So write my related quadratic function here. Then I'm going to complete the square. First thing that I have to do is factor out minus 2 from my first 2 terms. Then I need my b value, so I'm going to divide by 2 and square it. So plus 1, minus 5. My first 3 terms I can factor as a perfect square. And then I need to multiply minus 2 by my last one. So I've got plus 2 minus 5, which is going to give me minus 2x plus 1 squared minus 3. Now my point pattern is all going to have the 3 numbers multiplied by minus 2. So I would go over 1, down 2, over 1, down 6, and then over 1, down 10. So let's put those on our graph. I'm going to use red for the first one here. So I'll start with my vertex, 3 minus 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 3, and then over 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here we go. So this is my first parabola here. So this is A. And I'm going to identify my solutions, which is right where it crosses the x-axis. So I've got x is going to equal 2 and 4. My next one I will do in blue. So let's do this one in blue. So I'm going to start with my vertex is minus 3, 0, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the same on the other side. And I'm going to fill in my both halves of the parabola. And what I'm going to notice is that it only crosses the x-axis right at that vertex. So my x is minus 3. The last one I will do here in green. What's my vertex here? Oh, I didn't label that. Vertex would be minus 1, minus 3. Minus 1, minus 3. My parabola is opening down. I'm going to go over 1, down 2, over 1, and down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. And then I will fill in my parabola like this. And I'm going to notice that the vertex is below the x-axis and it opens down. So I've got no solutions for this one. That is how you graph a parabola and find the solutions to the quadratic equation.